And I've mentioned at least 3 airlines. Can I finish? The second thing I want to correct is that President Akufo-Addo has not rented any private jet to travel within the country. West Africa, yes. Outside West Africa, yes. But in the country, no. That is also not correct, because that's what you said, that is rented jets and traveling within the country. And Mahama will not do that. It's not also true. The third one I want to state is that ever since we took that aircraft to France for it to be done properly, it took almost 6 months, about 6 months to 7 months for it to be fitted properly and brought back. President Akufo-Addo has been using it. In fact, even I think 2 days before he handed over, he used that aircraft. President Akufo-Addo has used that aircraft for the last 8 months. So it is not as if we were not using that aircraft and now we want President Mahama to use it. It's not a true story. President Akufo-Addo has been using it ever since it returned from France. That's the third point I want to make. And the last point I want to make and still make, which is the last point I want to make and still make, is that President Mahama, when that aircraft was not available, rented aircrafts, private jets, and used outside the country. Yes. Yes. I say yes, that I can say that for a fact. Ask he himself, ask President Mahama himself. I'm saying you don't have the information, but you ask he himself. Ask him, sir. He will tell you that yes, he did when he was president. So these are the 4 things I wanted to say. I'm not saying any controversial thing. I'm not bringing any new facts. These are just the 4 things I wanted to say. That one, President Akufo-Addo has traveled on numerous occasions with commercial jets, commercial aircrafts. I've mentioned the names. 2, President Akufo-Addo has not traveled and has not rented any private jet to be traveling around the country. 3, President Akufo-Addo. Yes, I just repeated what I said. So it's in the hands that, Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Abuja, please. Per what we agreed, if you are speaking, then it means you speak and you close the chapter. Please, so that we can move on, please. You have already spoken 2 times on this particular issue. Yes. So, Honorable Leader of the House, you are still leader. Until you are sworn in, we will still consider you as leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am still the leader of the House. And I have not been sworn in as the Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, God willing, tomorrow, Right Honorable Speaker, God willing, tomorrow, the NDC caucus, the majority caucus, will designate our front bench. That will be done tomorrow. But Mr. Speaker, in the meantime, let me state for the records that after consulting with my chief whip, he never said that President Akufo-Addo never traveled on private jet.
He said what? You were the only one who heard it. You were the only one who heard it.
Never traveled commercial. Mr. Speaker, he's here. But Mr. Speaker, again for the records. Right Honorable Speaker, again for the records. I traveled with the President Mahama, in his recent trip to the UAE. He did not use private jet. I was on the flight. With him. We use Emirates. So let no one create. And Mr. Speaker, the immediate past defense minister made a statement that President Mahama traveled on a private jet, rented a private jet. I challenge him to bring us evidence now. Mr. Speaker, you cannot just make statements without justifications. You can't. Bring us evidence to prove that he has traveled or rented a private jet. Mr. Speaker, the President Mahama was sworn in on the 7th. No, but so you are saying when he was president, when? 2013. Mr. Speaker, you've seen that he's changing the goalpost. You are changing the goalpost. You are changing the goalpost.
When they are harassing him, you do complain. So they don't do it only. They do it
Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the honorable member for Bimbila is now saying President Mahama traveled on rented a private jet when he was in the past, not recently.
It's not even true. It's not even true. It's not even true. Challenge them.
They are similar, so we take them together. Then we will discuss. Then finally, we come to Manson Kwanta. So we have four statements. So we have four statements. So we will start with Honorable Sosu. We should have taken that one yesterday, but because of the appointment committee's report, we couldn't take them. So Honorable Sosu, you may read your statement now.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a statement on Ghana's leadership in ensuring the full implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, AfTA. Mr. Speaker, on 7th December 2024, Ghanaians went to the polls to vote to reset the nation. During his inauguration on 7 January 2025, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama vowed to collaborate with other African countries to deepen integration and regionalism and to fashion common solutions for Africans' challenges. Based on His Excellency's commitment, Mr. Speaker, I make this statement to remind us of our collective duty in ensuring that Ghana plays a leadership role in championing the full implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, headquartered here in Accra, and outline some actionable steps for sustained leadership. Mr. Speaker, in January 2012, at the 18th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the AU, which took place in Ethiopia, the Assembly of Heads of State adopted a landmark decision to ensure that there is an establishment of Continental Free Trade Area by 2017. The purpose was the progressive elimination of tariff and non-tariff barriers for mutually beneficial trading regimes among member states. Also, the heads of state endorsed an action plan to boost intra-Africa trade, also known as Boosting Intra-Africa Trade, BIAT. The BIAT recognized 7 main priority areas of action to promote its cause, namely trade policy, trade-related infrastructure, trade finance, trade facilitation, productive capacity, trade information, and factor market integration. Mr. Speaker, the potential of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement to unify 54 African states, representing over 1.2 billion people and with a combined GDP of over $3.4 trillion, reflects the continent's strategic commitment to collective prosperity. This momentum was further reinforced with Agenda 2063, adopted during the Golden Jubilee of the OAU in 2013, which envisioned a structurally transformed Africa under the banner of the Africa we want.
Francis Xavier Sosu, Member of Parliament for Medina, delivering a statement on the floor of Parliament there. Earlier, there was quite an interesting debate, if you ask me, regarding the recent travels by the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, using a private jet. The matter had come up on the floor of Parliament, and members on either side of the House had given or had a bite at it. Well, this is Channel 1 Television. We've been bringing you coverage of the vetting of ministerial nominees. We'll be back with that once the Appointments Committee reconvenes and the chairman calls the meeting to order. We'll bring you live proceedings from the Appointments Committee. Also, we're expecting that the swearing in of ministers who have been approved by Parliament, 6 of them in total, will happen. Once we get the indication that that is going to happen, we'll bring you live coverage of the swearing in as well. These 6 ministers, as approved by Parliament based on the nominations by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, include Kwame Gavin-Sagboja for the Roads Ministry, Haruna Idrusu for the Education Ministry, you have Eric Opoku for the Agric Ministry, and then you would have the likes of Dominic Ajene going to the office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, John Jinapo for the Energy Ministry, and then you have Cassiel Atuforsen, Doctor, going to the Finance Ministry. Once we get indication that the swearing in is going to happen by His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, we'll bring you live proceedings from there. Stay with us here on Channel 1 Television. We have a lot more for you. Good afternoon.